Nick Fuentes, along with the rest of the incels in America First, the right-wing extremist organization that he has founded, are very upset with who is now the former treasurer of their organization. Why are they upset with Jaden McNeil? Well, it turns out Jaden McNeil can't really call himself an incel anymore because he got a girlfriend. Now, the movement is undergoing turmoil, according to the Daily Beast, after its treasurer got a girlfriend and stopped living in the basement of leader Nick Fuentes. Sounds like a win to me. That was a problem for Fuentes, who describes himself as an incel, that's involuntary celibate, and beseeches his young male fan base not to have sex. This led the nonprofit group's treasurer, Jaden McNeil, to resign and call America First a cult. Can we just talk about the power of the P word? Like,
it freed his mind.
It makes the world go round, okay? Here you have someone who's like, I'm an incel, America First. All he needed was a little love. And all of a sudden he's like, yeah, that Nick Fuentes guy, crazy. Okay.
I feel like just, oh God, like a load off my shoulders and other places. I just feel calm for the first time in years. I don't hate everyone now. It's amazing. There's gotta be something we can do in this area. I know it's gonna be, a lot of people are gonna have to bite a bullet because some of these are real weirdos, but God, it's so fast. The transformation can just be so immediate.
I just wish, I wish that, I kind of want to put my arm around some of these guys and be like, it's gonna be okay.
I don't think you do.
Like, I know, total, 100%. Let's just keep it real. No, but like most of them, they're just impatient, right? Like, I think most guys go through a phase where, they want some love, they're not getting the love, and then someone will come along. You'll be all right. Just like, don't needlessly brand yourself as an incel and associate yourself with losers. Like, that is not gonna help your case. It's actually a minor miracle that McNeil found a girlfriend as he was part of this organization. But now that he's no longer part of America First, he has decided to spill the tea. So McNeil has accused Fuentes of hiding the group's finances from him and fellow board member Michelle Malkin. What is Michelle Malkin doing?
She's still around.
What are you doing, Michelle Malkin? Why are you doing this? Why are you part of this?
Queen
are
of
you
the
proud
incels.
of yourself?
Yeah.
And he said, McNeil said that other unspecified new revelations caused him to distance himself from America First. Why don't we take a listen?
The treasurer of America First, right?
Correct.
So what did that entail? And were you not paid for that?
Well, so initially when he pitched that to me, it was before I moved to Chicago, and he's like, I just need to basically dox people because it's all public records of people that can be on the board. Essentially, you're not gonna have to do anything. So me and Michelle were on the board, Michelle Malkin, and he told me, you don't have to do anything, whatever. But with the treasurer position, it was him and his assistant that dealt with all the money, and it was basically like I was just.
So they gave you papers to sign.
They did. There wasn't too many. Like, I will say that I was basic. Like, I'm not a. I know I sound like a. I'm not a
patsy. You sound a little bit like a patsy.
Yeah,
Here's the paper, sign it.
I was obviously reading through stuff.
Did you read any of it, or you? Read
no, I did. I did read through it. It wasn't like anything super sketch or anything that I saw. It was basically just I was signing off for the registrations to raise money in certain states. It wasn't anything like crazy. So
not a big deal. Do you know if Michelle Malkin was she heavily involved, or was this really just two people and that's it? And me and the sister are going to handle it.
Yeah, it was basically just Nick handling everything.
All right, sounds like he's raising some red flags in regard to the finances of this America First organization, this nonprofit. Gotta admit that conversation was kind of boring. Don't care about that. I do care about the fact that Nick Fuentes, along with the other incels in this group, seem to be salty about the fact that guy McNeil found a little love, found love in his life. Now I don't know what his political views are at this point.
One can guess.
But hopefully, like, by the way, why was he part of this? Like he's not.
That group or that live stream? Because I have that same question for both. I don't know. I mean, I've been in some weird Twitch streams, but I don't think that's helping your cause. You better hope the new girlfriend doesn't tune in, because there's like a period where you don't need to turn both keys. You can just exit a relationship early on. And I feel like that's probable cause.
Dude, look, I don't speak for all women. I'm sure there are women out there who have no problem with like their partners being like streamers or whatever. But like,
no, to be clear,
I'm not talking for me.
That's not what I'm talking about.
It's not for me.
What I'm saying is he's now distanced himself from America First, so he's spilling the dirt. But the dirt that he's spilling is that Michelle Malkin was like kind of involved, but not really, and you had to sign some paperwork. There's like major like gaping holes there. So, okay, you think it's weird that Nick Fuentes is like an incel or whatever, but so do you now have a problem with the like flagrant, like beyond Marjorie Greene levels of anti-Semitism and racism? Nick Fuentes recently on a stream was going off on this really weird, awkward rant, and he dropped the N-word and then said, oops, one slipped out. One slipped out, because normally he's better at stopping himself right before saying the N-word live on a stream, but one slipped out. Does he have a problem with that? Do any of the people on that stream have a problem with that? The paperwork and the finances, like that's an interesting bureaucratic question, but that's not the most, like the core moral concern here.
Yeah, no, I think bureaucratic is really funny.
That is true. I just ate ice cream like literally before I started talking.
No, the bureaucracy in the duck community is, we really need to address that. No, and anyway.
See, look at this. I'm getting mocked by this woman and I kind of feel like joining America First now.
Yeah, look, I don't know, like, honestly, I don't even really care, right? Like, I don't know if Jaden is like a rabid racist. I think anyone who would associate themselves with this group and Nick Fuentes would have to have some pretty unsavory and racist views. But I will say that I see a lot of these extreme right-wing groups the same way that I see street gangs, right? Like, why do people join street gangs? Is it because they're just inherently violent and they just want to do crazy violent things? Or is it because they feel a sense of community by joining that gang?
Yeah.
And so I do wonder about some of these guys, right? Because I'm not trying to serve as, I'm not providing any cover for them. I'm not being an apologist for them. So just like, let me make that clear. But I wonder how many guys get sucked into this because they are sexually frustrated or they might feel lonely and they're seeking a community. You get what I'm saying?
I get it, yeah. Yeah, obviously with the gang stuff in some areas, there can be like, threats of violence or death if you don't participate in a gang. A lot of this is online. I feel like there's not that component, but sure, I think community is a part of it. Everybody, especially in this age group, wants community, and a lot of them are probably incredibly sexually frustrated. I understand that, but I would say as a guy who got past that period, and by the way, I'm happily married and all that, no concerns in those areas. Like, honestly, take up any other community, any other hobby. Like, it doesn't even have to be something like amazing and philanthropic or whatever. It can be douchey and shallow. Just get like really into weightlifting at 17, or Pokemon, or graphic novels, or mountain biking. Literally any other hobby will not immediately turn off 99% of all women, like being a part of Nick Fuentes' group will. And by the way, along the way, you'll meet women. By definition, hanging out with Nick Fuentes, you're not going to. There's not a lot of cool girls going down into his basement. So you're not, well, not consensually anyway. And so like, do literally any other thing. Get into designer board games, get really into baking. There are communities for all of this, and you'll actually meet women, and you might come out the other end not looking like such a weirdo.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best advice, right? Like, the best advice is work on yourself, like find hobbies that are actually beneficial to building character, getting stronger, healthier, whatever it is, right? Stuff that actually improves who you are as a person. And the ladies will come. But what doesn't, I would just venture to say, what doesn't turn women on is being part of a group of dorks who like sit around and like wallow in their like, unintentional celibacy. Like, that doesn't turn women on. Like, no one looks at that and thinks like, wow,
that's not doing it for you.
This guy felt the need to join a group of losers. Like, wow, I want to date that guy. That's why it's kind of amazing that Jaden found a girlfriend. Good for him. I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, but
I
maybe
hope he evolves in other ways too.
He says he did. Maybe she goes to like a school in Canada or something.
Who cares? I don't care. I don't care. As long as it's pulling him out of this disgusting organization, I'm happy with that.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.